Hey guys.
One of our viewers on our channel reminded us that Machine Head has a new song, a new video. They have a new album coming out. This viewer right here gets a shout out. Asks us to check out Machine Head with Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate. Sounds epic.
It sounds like a one-liner in like a movie. Like after the guy kills his arch rival.
Like, say hello to my little friend?
Yeah, it's like one of those type of lines.
One of those lines? Alright, I can live with that. I think that would be a badass line, though. That would be a badass line. Alright, are you ready for some new Machine Head?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
Faithless, weaponize mask, call up the light, poison everything. False conspiracy, soulless enemy, dead for what to say. Look around and see the great decay. Violence turns the fearful into slaves. Show on the ashes of your rage. And it's not too late. Look around and see the great hypocrisy. Glittering inside its body cage. Sick society lost in vanity, paid to slowly die. Lifeless, reprobate, soul incarcerate, cutting like a knife. Shoving their vile venom down our throats like Klonopin. Force feed their lies back like medicine. Show on the ashes of your rage. And it's not too late. Look around and see the great hypocrisy. Glittering inside its body cage. Chaos cratering, riots, anarchy, lawlessness abound.
Building.
All of us hellbound. We're the damaged ones, left with the damaged done. We don't care no more. This is fucking war. Chaos cratering, riots, anarchy, lawlessness abound. All of us hellbound. We're the damaged ones, left with the damage done. We don't care no more. This is fucking war. No day on bastard. Go to your master. Sad man, no worry. Welcome, fury. Mock-up in a life and victimized for a refugee. Makes identity burning you and me cinders unafraid. Lowing like a shackled animal. Chaos slaughter, only time will tell. Show on the ashes of your hate. Now it's far too late. Look around and see the great hypocrisy. Glittering inside its body cage. Show on the ashes of your hate. And it's far too late. Look around and see the great hypocrisy. Glittering inside its body cage. Oh.
That flare there at the end. Alright, I'm gonna let you go first. Thoughts, not prayers, on the new Machine Head.
Very intense. I mean, the song had such a good force behind it, and there were certain guitar sounds, especially the sounds that were more of like the high pitch.
Yeah, like the.
Yeah, those high pitched beeps, which are also I call them beeps,
Okay.
which are also in Halo.
They're okay. I'm gonna talk more about it when my turn comes. But okay, go ahead. I don't want to break your train of thought.
What were you gonna say?
No. I was gonna say that this song has a lot of old Machine Head.
Yeah.
From the first couple of albums. If you look at Burn My Eyes, a lot of those beeps, like you call it, that was trademark Machine Head guitar sound in Burn My Eyes. And it started to disappear
beeps,
more and more with every record that
those
came
beeps
after.
Are also, in the main riff of Halo. That's why, which is my favorite,
And to me, that is the essence of what Machine Head guitar sound used to be all about. And it got lost, at least in my humble opinion, it got kind of lost from that first album onwards. I mean, you still see it. Shit. But this song, I feel like they went back, not full on, like, we're not going to make this... Because, you did an album once, you don't need to do the same album twice. I'm totally down with that. But I feel like there's certain elements that become part of the DNA of who you are as a band, and you have to kind of integrate them here and there. One of them is that, 100%. The moment that I heard this song, I'm going through it with you, and I hear those moments, those guitar moments in the track, I'm like, this is vintage Machine Head. So I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, I really enjoyed all the really good the guitar stuff.
It makes the song more groovy.
It makes the song more groovy, but what made the song even more groovy was the fact that bass was so prominent in the sound. I mean, even the parts where you even see him, picking away at the top string, and you just see it just fucking waving. It's waving at you, and it's such a pleasant sound that you're getting from it because it's so thick and groovy, and it really adds to the song. And I mean, I fucking love it. I love a good bass sound.
Me too. Now, the other thing I want to say about this, because you touched on the guitar, I think that's inevitable. If you're talking about this song, if you're listening to this song, and if you've been a fan of Machine Head for a long time, and you've been listening to them for a long time, the moment you hear those specific guitar sounds, you're like, fuck, this is vintage Machine Head. So that was one of the elements. The other one was the drums, actually. When I look back at the first album with Chris Kontos on the drums, he has a very specific drum style. And the way, if you look at the drums on that album, because of who's drumming, you see the way the cymbals are used in the sound. What you're getting out of the guitar and those beeps, like you call it, what you're getting out of the guitar in those moments, you're getting the same thing. Not at the same time, but you're getting the same thing out of the drums in terms of how the cymbals are used. They just create this very specific sound that is very unique to the way I always saw Machine Head as a band. Once again, they changed drummers after that album, so things, each drummer has its own style. Let's just face the facts here, right? Oh, well, every guitar player, everybody has their own style, so they're going to bring their own flair. This song, the way the drums sounded on this song, it sounded more like that Chris Kontos Machine Head style approach. At least it had some of those moments. And the cymbals were used at times throughout this song the same way that Chris uses his own style and his own approach in that debut record. So to me, this song had two elements that kind of took me back to that original Machine Head. And that was the guitar sound, the specific guitar notes, and the drum approach, the overall drum experience when you get those cymbals really coming through, and because they add grooviness. As much as the guitars are adding grooviness, that drum sound also adds like almost a pause, like a little bit of a break, and I love it. Outside of those two elements that I felt were really like a call back to the old Machine Head, I think what you got to walk away from this song feeling is that, first of all, this is better than any track on their previous record. Better than any track. You put this song against any song on Catharsis, this is way better than any track on that album. But then again, I didn't like any track on that album. So, to me, this is better than any track on that record. Because it feels more Machine Head. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the sound was violent. It had violence in it. It was aggressive. But it was not just violent and aggressive. It was violent and aggressive in a very groovy kind of way.
And the vocals also had
an impact to that. Yeah, the vocals had a huge impact to that. The vocals had a huge impact to that because it didn't feel, for a lack of a better term, it didn't feel preachy. The vocals felt like they were just transmitting in words the emotion and the feel that the music had. And that to me is when you're at best. When I listen to Machine Head, I always connect with songs more that I feel like everything is feeding one off of the other. The music is feeding the lyrics. The lyrics are feeding the vocals. Everything is interconnected. Everything is a chain reaction of a previous event and not necessarily like piecework. You know what I mean? And when I listen to this track, I feel like Rob Flynn's vocals are really connected with the aggression of the song, with the lyrical content. It doesn't feel preachy. It just feels violent, aggressive. And that's what Machine Head is all about. I mean, you know, let freedom ring with a shotgun blast. When you have a line like that on one of your songs, you can't really like pussyfoot around. You gotta fucking bring it.
That's a good ass line, yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta fucking bring it. You know what I mean? So I feel like this track, while perhaps not as groovy as some of their earlier stuff, but it has groove elements, but it's a lot more demolishing, but it still has the groove in there. And if this is a glimpse of what this new album is going to be about, I'm already way more excited about this record than I was about the previous one. Like I said, you know, I'm sure there's people out there that love catharsis. I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
I'm not one of them.
That was not your thing.
It just felt like empty calories. It just felt like
this is not what I came
I wasn't.
here for.
I wasn't emotionally attached to it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's one of those records that you listen to it, but it's not memorable. It doesn't leave a lasting impression on you. This does, because I almost felt like this song kind of merges a little bit of everything that Machine Head has been from the beginning to now. It merges a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of little pieces here and there. Like, oh fuck, this reminds me of this album, or this reminds me of that album. Everything kind of comes together.
Yeah, they all came together, and they were all dipped in a nice coat of new paint, and then they were presented to everybody.
And at the end of the day, the way it comes across, it feels connected. The song doesn't feel
choppy.
It doesn't feel disconnected. You don't feel like the sound doesn't represent the lyrics. The lyrics don't represent the vocals. Everything has its place.
Yeah, everything has its place. Everything has its same intensity too.
Yeah,
they really work together.
And having the bass, I'm with you. Having the bass as predominant as it is on this track, I don't think you can walk away from it saying that this is a groovy song and then say that the bass doesn't play a role in it. For as groovy as the guitars are at times, that bass, it just makes you just fucking
nice pop.
Yeah, it makes you just want to fucking move side to side. You know what I mean? It just has a nice impact on the overall experience of the song. That's all. I fucking loved it. Honestly. This is the Machine Head that I grew up listening to. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's close. It's close to that.
It's close, yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, you're never gonna go back to 1991 or whatever when you release it. You're a different person. You're a different musician. You're a different person. The world is different. Everything is different. You're obviously gonna evolve through times. You're gonna change. The band has changed, but the fact that they threw us a couple of bones here from previous experiences, fuck, I'm all in. Give me the rest of the record. Let me listen to it. Let me see what it's all about, which I will eventually. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think
we exhausted all avenues here.
Yeah.
What do you think about Rob Flynn's beard before we go? It used to. You went from a small like little like chin beard to like he's full on like mop.
Yeah. The beard is nice, you know, and I
got some thickness to it.
It has some thickness, you know. Seeing a good beard nowadays, it just reminds me how much, you know, your beard, you know, has lost over the years.
Yeah, well, I like it short a little bit. It's easier to maintain. I think if you go, what I've learned from my beard experience is if you're going to go his style,
you have to also do
Yeah, but you kind of have to just let it go wild. Don't try to
fix it up.
Yeah, don't try to maintain it. Just let it grow and let it go wherever it needs to go. Just fucking let it all hang out. All right.
That's what you're going to do when you retire. And you're living in a cabin somewhere.
He's in a band. He can look any way he wants. It's not like he has a 9 to 5. I can show up to work
with that beard.
Yeah, with the beard the way I used to have it before. During the pandemic, I could pull it off. I was working from home, but the moment I showed up to work looking like I don't know, Gandalf, that's not gonna fly. All right, no magic to be had. There was no ring big enough for me to pull that off.
Yeah.
Cock ring or otherwise.
I knew it. Fuck.
Listen,
we
guys.
couldn't go a video without it.
You cannot go live without it. Never mind a video.
Okay.
Anything else? You good?
Nah, we're good.
All right. On that note, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the viewer on the channel that reminded us to give us the heads up that there was a new Machine Head video. We give you a shout out. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you all in the next video. Take care.
See ya.